guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This from a guy. He is 54 years old, and he shares his story, his life story, of how he went from being, as a kid, high school, to being the typical nice guy, pushover, who obviously girls cheated on, mistreated, broke his heart and everything, to fast forward in time through life experience, becoming the masculine alpha type of guy that all guys should strive to be. And it's definitely, his story will be an example. When a lot of gals wonder, they'll encounter a guy who definitely has a my way or the highway attitude, lays down the law, checks a girl, doesn't put up with her crap, and she wonders who hurt you, or what made you that way, or why are you so mean. Well, you're going to see his life experience showed him that when you don't act that way, when you are passive, a pushover, and all that, guess what happens? You get cheated on, you get taken advantage of, etc., etc. Women respond to strength and leadership, and if you don't behave in that way, the same BS that happens in so many stories does. And by the way, you're going to see at the end of the story, this guy, he's married. He's been married for a long time, has a daughter, and a great relationship with his wife, loves her to death, but she knows if there's any bullshit, he's going to call her on it. And if she pushes him too far, she's gone, because he knows, and she knows too, he can replace her. And you must have it that a gal knows that if she pushes you too far with her disrespect, bullshit, whatever, cheating especially, you're out of there. There's no second chance, no coming back. And until a gal knows you truly will walk away if you push them too far, they're never going to respect you. And a lot of you guys are well aware of that. So anyhow, sit back. This is an interesting tale about a guy finding his way. It says here, hello SSM. This is a quick summary of my journey as I navigate my way of from being a simp to an alpha. I'm 54 years old now, but back in my teen years, I was a nice guy. So was I, brother, and I learned too. Average guy, average height, and hair down to my shoulders. Your typical 80s guy. I dated a girl on and off from 8th grade until my mid-year through my senior year. I was head over heels in love with her, I thought, and thought we'd graduate, get married, and have a family. Smack! You know why. But I was wrong. About midway through my senior year, I found out she became friends with a guy that had hair down to the middle of his back, and he played a guitar in a band. Yeah, you're screwed. A hairband guy, you're in trouble. It became the subject in most of her conversations. I was insanely jealous, but told to hold on to what I thought was the love of my life, because I was too smitten and weak to see the reality of the situation. When a gal starts talking about a guy all the time, that's a big red flag. Trust me, because that pretty much is like your replacement. One day, while we were talking with a group of friends, she mentioned that she'd gone to his house, and then she mentioned that she had some items he had in his bedroom. Immediately, I asked what the hell was she doing in his bedroom. She said that they were just friends, his mom was there, and nothing happened. Sure. Fast forward a few months, and she broke it off. Gee, and I wonder for who. I was devastated. I didn't date the rest of the year, and I didn't even go to the prom. A part of me was gone, and I soon became a heartless soul. This began my journey to who I am today. So, I'm going to say this. A lot of guys should be able to relate to what you're talking about there. I don't think there are many guys out there that haven't been cheated on at least once. It happened to me, and it hurts, especially when you never see it coming. Because you think we had such an amazing thing going on, and I thought we're going to be together forever, and she told me how much she loves me, and wants to marry me, and have my kids, and blah, 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 blah. You guys know, right? You know, you've heard it. And then it's like, you're cheating on me with that guy, that fucking scumbag? That'll change you forever. Or either you change forever like him and a lot of you, or you just keep making the same dumbass mistakes. Well, we'll see. After graduation, I spent about 6 months trying to find my way in a career, but no one was going to give an 18-year-old punk a shot at a real career. So one day in January, I called my dad and told him that I was going to talk to some recruiters the next day and probably join the Marines. He immediately asked me to look into other branches, which took me by surprise. I said, Dad, you were a Marine during Vietnam, so what's the problem? He told me that even though he loved being a Marine, he felt the upper ranks didn't care enough about lower ranks, and that in their minds, they were expendable. He then told me that out of the guys he went over there with, only him and 2 others made it back. So the following day, I spoke to the other branches and then decided on the Air Force. Fast forward, I'm at my Air Force base. I was in the middle of missile field, which meant I was in the field for 3 days, and then I was in the field for 3 days and then off for 6 days. When I say I was in the field, I was 7 hours from base, on post 24 hours a day, and wasn't back to the base until my 3 days were done. Sounds pretty intense, man. The first girl I met there was Darla. We dated for a while, but I wasn't interested in a serious relationship, so one day she broke it off with me, and I didn't give two flying flips. Well, as they say, I think they say in the military, from the drill instructor or whatever, if the Army or the Marines or the Air Force wanted you to have a girlfriend or wife, they would have issued you one. You don't need relationships when you're in the military, because how many stories have I done that they're going to cheat on you, especially getting married? I said, again, I'm heartless and soulless and didn't give a damn. I was just using her for cooch anyway. Soon afterwards, I met a girl named Lisa. We got fairly serious over time, and eventually she started saying things like, when we get married next year, or I was thinking, to who, not me, but I didn't say it out loud. Well, I didn't want to disturb the mojo, the constant cooch, and the SCX, whatever you want to call it. Well, one day I'm at the local mall, and I see her foster sister, and she tells me she has something we need to talk about. Relationship in the military, huh? You're about to learn. She tells me that Lisa has been seeing another guy while I'm in the missile field, and that they've been going to a bonfire with him the last day I was in the field. I asked what his name was, and she told me Mike. My response was, well, that's smart. At least she won't scream out the wrong name in the bedroom. So when you're away for your 3 days, far away from base, 24 hours a day, she's got herself another guy with the same name, so yeah, she doesn't shoot out your name. Again, this is why I don't have relationships in the military. He says, did I immediately break up with her? No. Over the next few weeks, I try my best to wear her out 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. While on my 6 days off, and then one day while in the missile field, I called her and told her that we were done. When she asked why, and I told her that I found out she was seeing another guy named Mike, so it's over. Of course, the tears and the begging came, but I was done and moving on. See? Now, still, this guy was obviously, he'd learned a lot since his high school when the girl dumped him and was clearly cheating on him. He improved, but still, he was doing relationships in the military, bad idea. But again, even though he had started moving in the direction away from being the nice guy simp type, still there were some elements there. But you can see these events that are causing him to be the way you're going to see. Immediately after getting back from the field, I contacted her foster sister, the one who told me about the cheating, and we started hanging out. I told her I wasn't looking for anything serious, and she was cool with that. We became friends with benefits, and we'd hang out on my days off. So you started nailing the girlfriend you had who was talking about marriage and all that. Meanwhile, she was hooking up with some other dude with the same freaking name. Her foster sister tells you, which I find very interesting, by the way. And you start hooking up with her. That was pretty funny. Going to the movies, the mall, my dorm room, etc. Lisa was fuming mad. Tough shit for Lisa. She was cheating on you. She thought she had the perfect situation. Me, the guy she thought she was going to marry, and that was there for 3 solid days in the missile field with no way of checking up on her, which gave her the ability to play around with other guys. When the cat's away, the mice will play scenario. Yeah, how many times have I done stories where guys find out that the second they ship out, they deploy, whatever, the gals are like, bye, and they're off, they're taking their rings off and going off to the bars. You've heard this before. I'm not going to go into details because I was a dog, but eventually I ended up with a fiance back home, my friends with benefits, and a local girlfriend. Smack! Dude, not cool. I don't blame you, given how you were being cheated on left and right, but now you became the asshole, you know? But you'll see in a second here, well, you'll see how this goes. I recall many times my friends with benefits and I were in the sack in the dorm room when I suddenly get a phone call from my fiance. I'd let it ring, and then my answering machine would pick up, and we both listened to the message. Like I said before, I was heartless and soulless to a certain extent. But the one thing I never did was take my girlfriend to the dorms because she didn't know about my fiance and actually cared about the girlfriend. She was a sweet girl, and I didn't deserve her at the time of my life. Well, my ability to shelter my emotional connections became a blessing once more. Before getting orders to go overseas, and before I could come home to see the mess that my life was by marrying my fiance, I found out she was messing around with another guy. Another guy back home, so we broke it off, and once again, I didn't care. Another one down, move along. So I gotta wonder, because you said you had friends with benefits, then you had a fiance back home, and then also a girlfriend. That's a lot of pussy to deal with. I gotta wonder, well, if somehow the fiance caught wind of something was going on and she was cheating, or that's just who she was, or I don't know. But again, I can see what things like. But newsflash, guys, don't be that guy. Okay, yeah, I know girls do that, but we gotta have a code. Don't be a cheater. Things aren't gonna work. Just break it off with a girl. But I get you were young and you're pissed off. It's not an excuse, and I know you know this now, but still. Anyway, it says here, soon after I found myself in Germany for 2 years, where I did nothing but go sightseeing on my days off, live in the gym. I work out 2 to 3 hours per day on a 3-day on, 1-day off rotation. Soon I found myself on the base powerlifting team, building mass and less than 10% body fat. I didn't bother dating while in Germany, just a few girls here and there. I just partied, hiked, and went sightseeing and lifted weights. Once I got back home, I got reacquainted with civilian life, and soon my cousins were trying to set me up with some female friends of theirs. I dated a few of them, and eventually hooked up with a girl named Christy. We became somewhat exclusive for a short time. I recall one day, out of the blue, she said something like, "I'm just dating you for your body." To which I replied, "Cool, I'm just dating you for what's between your legs." We didn't last long after that. It had nothing to do with me or my desire to stop dating her. It was her that wanted to break it off. Yeah, well, she sounded like an asshole anyway. I found out later that she was hooking up with a guy or two from the local naval base. Again, I didn't give two flying flips. More girls are cheating on you, huh? After a while of remaining single and not looking for anything serious, my stepmom asked me one day if I'd be interested in meeting a girl she worked with, and I said sure. Bad idea. Don't let anybody hook you up with women, especially your stepmom or family or whatever. She took a photo of me and showed the girl, and she was interested, and so we scheduled a time to meet. After meeting me in person, she later told my stepmother that she didn't recognize me from the photo because I didn't have a mustache. But after seeing me in person with a mustache, she knew me from high school, and then she recalled that I was an arrogant jerk that hung out with the snooty crowd. Well, long story short, we dated for a while, and she's the one that I married. We eventually had 2 kids, and we've been married for almost 29 years. We've had a great relationship and established boundaries. Well, I'm glad, 19 times the charm for you here. That's good to hear. But watch this, guys, as he explains the dynamics between he and his wife, and why obviously he hasn't been doing any cheating, and certainly she hasn't. Well, let's just say the odds are pretty good she wasn't doing any cheating either. Now listen to this dynamic that life taught him he has to be towards his wife. He says, she doesn't have any male friends, very important, guys, and I don't have female friends. She knows how I am, and still to this day, she will tell anyone that I can be the most loving person or the most heartless person on the face of the earth. There you go. You're great with people that are loyal and loving and treat you well, but you're a nightmare to anybody that doesn't treat you well. So, fair enough. She knows not to mess with you, and women must know. They cross their guy, he's out of there. He says, it's your choice, which it is. I'm a no-nonsense type of guy that won't put up with any BS. As an example, within the past month, my daughter and I were arguing, and after my daughter left the room, my wife took her side. How did I reply? I told her the house that we're in is my house, I pay the bills, and if she was going to disrespect me by taking my daughter's side when I was in the right, she could hit the road with our daughter because I'm not going to tolerate disrespect in my house. Good, bro. Exactly. I don't know what the issue was, but clearly it was enough of an issue that you said your daughter's being disrespectful, and I'm trusting your word on that. And if your kid's going to talk shit about you and be disrespectful to you, the parent in your house, that you paid the bills and all that, oh, no. You're going to lose the attitude, you're out of here. And I'm glad that you stood your ground, and when your wife was on her side, and she was obviously, the daughter being an a-hole, you made it clear. And you have to do that. You have to check women. They have to know, because they test. And the second they smell weakness and sense it, even if you're the toughest guy, they're going to be testing. You must check them and make it clear. Any bullshit, I'm out of here. It's terrible that you got to be this way towards the women you love. But if you don't, and the stories I've done, all 2,000 videos in circulation between all 3 channels now, prove this. It is what it is. A lot of people wouldn't like hearing this, but it's the fucking truth. And it doesn't mean you're walking around being harsh and mean all the time. It's just that you're a great, loving guy, but they know how to cross you. My point, after 29 years of marriage, I have boundaries that won't be crossed. Ding, ding, ding. I love my wife, but I won't tolerate disrespect from anyone that eats the food I put on the table, enjoys the roof that I provide, or the utilities that I pay for. During our 30 plus years my wife and I have been together, I told my wife many times, there are literally millions of women out there, so I'm not going to get all twisted over just one. If she wants to move on, then let me know. I will make it happen. She knows that if I walked in on her with another guy, all I'm going to do is flip a penny on the bed and tell her that's to pay her for the sex over the years, and we're done. How? I've told her many times, and she knows I'm not even remotely joking. You have to do that. She has to know you're serious, and I guarantee your wife knows that. Now, you said she took the side of your daughter. Probably the daughter was all worked up and emotional, and she wasn't quite thinking. Or maybe it was a test. I don't know. But you are consistently that way, and you must be, gentlemen. I mean, you guys should all be this way just so people will respect you in life. But if you're going to do relationships, and I know I got a lot of relationship dudes here, you must be this way. He says here, how? I've told her many times, and she knows I'm not even remotely joking. I'm not fighting another man over a worthless 304. Nope, not even 30-year wife. Not going to happen. I enjoy my freedom too much to ruin my life over a woman. He says, you, young simps out there, need to stop it with the women worship. There are millions of them out there, so why stress over one? Exactly. Tell them that they are only one of millions, and that they can be, and they're not happy with you. You need, tell them they are one of millions, and that if they can't be happy with you, you need to know so you can move on to be with the next one. Your woman must know and believe she is expendable because she thinks she has you. She will never respect you. And when a woman doesn't respect you, many issues arise from that, including infidelity. Stand up, be a man, be strong, and let her know your testicles have dropped. Hey, freaking men, sir. Right there, guys. You saw how he was when he was younger. And over time, and I want to point out that even as he started growing a pair when he was in the military and didn't really care, still the bullshit was going on. Someone could argue that the women picked up on that, and therefore, because they felt like he didn't care, therefore they cheated, but I don't buy that at all. He's been married for 29 years or 30 years, and he says they have a great marriage and all that, but she knows no bullshit, and I guarantee you that if she crossed the line with him after 30 years, or she was cheating, or I don't know what, he'd be gone. I guarantee you that. You must be strong, gentlemen. It is what it is. And again, a lot of people may not like hearing that, or at least not on this channel, but some newcomers or people out there that don't know my opinion on a lot of things would have a problem with that. But if you have a problem with that, then keep doing what you're doing. Keep being the kiss-ass nice guy, put him on the pedestal, do all those things like that, and watch how it turns out. And you'll end up being just like these stories that I've covered countless times in 3.5 years, and you'll learn and then come back to me and write and say, SSM, you were right. But anyhow, bro, I appreciate you sharing your story. It's a good refresher and how you got to be. And again, he obviously, in the story, mentioned that he knows how to be very loving and kind, but don't cross him. And you find that balance. And there you go. Women want a guy they can respect and look up to and be the leader. Feminine women, at least, traditional women. The modern feminists, they don't want that. They want to run the fucking show. But who wants to be involved with them? All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below and just think about this. This is a pretty good story here, a little different. No craziness in this story, just showing you how the journey of a guy into understanding reality. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.